Hello, this is Retirement Easy. I'm Chuck and welcome. Today's video is going to be a little music for you. I'm going to go through 20 riffs.
I want to break in right here, right now, and just say that this is only 5 riffs in this video. Okay? Now, back to the video.
That had an impact on my guitar playing, and in some cases my life. This is a music-related video, by the way, so if you're not into music, you might want to move on. But today I'm going to go through 20 riffs, hopefully real quick, and I got out the old Explorer for this. It's a 1982 Gibson Explorer that I bought with my student loan. And I'm going to go in order of when I kind of learned them or when they came into my life and kind of explain a little bit. The first riff I learned it like, this is how I started learning it. By the way, I'm using my Positive Grid little bitty amplifier right here for all of this right here. Got it just set on one setting, so no changes here. Riff number 1. See if you can figure this one out. And this is how I first played it when I learned it on the acoustic guitar. Recognize that? That's not really how you play it. I finally learned how to play it the correct way. Again, this is the first riff I ever learned and played on the guitar. But here's how it's really played. That's how it's really played. Richie Blackmore, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. Riff number 2. Again, this is one that I learned when I first picked up the acoustic guitar, and I was learning folk music when I first started learning guitar, and I wanted to learn what I was listening to on the records that I had and the rock songs on the radio. But this next one is similar to the Smoke on the Water one that I first learned. It goes something like this. That's what I learned the first time, and I really didn't learn the whole song. I just had that first pretty much wipeout by the Learned the guitar when I was like 6th grade, 7th grade, and then I got an electric guitar for Christmas from the Armed Forces Exchange Service, basically the military's version of a department store. I played that a little bit, and then I put it down, and I didn't pick it up. I didn't pick up the guitar really again until I met a buddy of mine named Dennis in 10th grade, 11th grade, geometry class. And Dennis and I used to sit in the back of our class, and he would come in. He was learning guitar too, and he had learned these things called bar chords. And he would show me how to play bar chords on our fret arms. We would use our arms as frets. And we would sit there and fret and say, oh no, this is how you do it, da 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 da. Moving forward, both got guitars. I finally got a good guitar because the guitar I got from the post exchange was not really that good. I actually still have it here. I should bring it out. But I went to a pawn shop with Dennis, and we both got matching guitars. His was usually a white, and mine was usually a black, or we never got the same color, but we got the same guitars, Les Paul type guitars. We continued to learn songs, and then we found out about this place on Fort Hood called the Music Center. And now the Music Center was a place where GIs could go and rent music equipment. So you could bring a guitar, if you had a guitar, electric guitar, and you could rent an amplifier. And they had these soundproof rooms that you could go in and just turn it up and jam to your heart's content. No one could really hear you unless they got really, really close. So they had a number of these little rooms spread out around this table, and they also had a big stage room because it was like a theater as well. So Dennis and I, we found out about this place. We started going there. I didn't really have an amp at the time, so I'd take my guitar and we'd rent amps. We'd go in this room, usually try to find a drummer because there was usually a drummer running around. So they had drum kits in every room, in the bigger rooms that you could play on. And then we'd find a bass player who was trying to learn the bass, and we'd all get in this room. We played this one riff over and over and over, or I did anyway, and usually it had 2, maybe 3 guitarists who wanted to play lead. And so we just continually play this non-stop. It goes like this. Figure out what that one is? That is Chicago's 25 or 624. And that riff, if you ever listen to the Chicago song, is through the whole song. It's that. That is pretty much it. Verse, the singing, and I can hear the song in my head now. But we would take that and just use it as a jam riff and just play constantly over and over. Can you imagine 10 minutes of that and multiple guitarists taking turns playing lead over that? That was what we did on the weekends when we were first learning to play guitar. As we got better and better, we thought we'd form a band. So we did form a band. We found a guy, my best friend Bill, who I've mentioned before in videos. He became our singer. Had never sung before, didn't even know if he could sing, but he wanted to do it. And with him came a buddy from his church youth group named Howard. And Howard didn't know how to play the bass, but he was willing to learn. So he picked up a bass at the music center and started learning. And later he went on and bought his first bass from a pawn shop. And so we got together and we started jamming. We started learning some songs. And this place, the music center, had a battle of the bands. And we thought, hey, all I had to do was play 2 songs. You know, if you won, you got to play at I believe it was a 4th of July party for all the GIs on bass on Fort Hood, where I lived at the time. So we put together this little band. We didn't have a drummer, so we found another guitarist, a guy named Bill as well, who played guitar, but could keep a beat on the drums. And he said, well, you know, there's so many guitarists running around the music center. You know, he started playing drums. He just sat in on drums. Whenever someone needed a drummer, Bill would sit in on drums because, you know, there'd be like 6 guitarists and no drummers. So he kind of de facto became a drummer. He could keep a beat. So he became our drummer. And so we formed this band and we called ourselves Leaf, L-E-A-F. And, you know, you can figure it out. It's the 70s, what that's all about. But anyway, we formed this band. We signed up for this Battle of the Bands and we learned 2 songs. First song we did, see if you can figure this one out. If you didn't figure that one out, that is Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones. That was the first song that we played at this Battle of the Bands. We thought we played it pretty good, and Bill could sing it all right. And Bill L would keep time on the drums, and we did okay. We had one other song that we learned as well, and you can see this, they're very similar in the way you play them. So this figured that one out. That is Strutter by Kiss. The first Kiss song I ever learned. So we played these 2 songs in this Battle of the Bands. We were the first band to go up and play, and when we played them, we didn't mess up, which is pretty good. And when we sat back down, our girlfriends were there, by the way, and there was a little crowd, people supporting each band. And our girlfriends were there, of course. We wanted to show up for them. And we sat down and we were high-fiving each other. Thumbs up. We did great. No one messed up. It sounded pretty good to us anyway. And so the next band came on and they set up their equipment. They had their own amps. They had their own drums. Now, when we went up on stage, we had a used drum set from the music center that we're using. Amps set up from the music center as well. Beat up to hell, usually Fenders. These guys had professional stuff. And they started playing Blue Oyster Cult's Dominance and Submission off the Secret Treaties album. Holy crap, they were good. We just kind of sunk down in our chairs and thought, oh, great. We knew the guitarist for this band, Doug, and he was just an awesome guitarist at that age. We're talking 16, 17, 18-year-olds. And they went on to win the competition. The third band who played was a GI band, guys who were in the Army, and they were a 3-piece, and they were pretty damn good too. And they won. In order to go on, they picked 2 bands out of the 3 of us to go play at this July 4th big celebration. And of course, we didn't get to go. But that was an eye-awakening that we needed to practice more and more and more. Me and Dennis went on to other bands and do other things with other people. Bill kind of dropped off, went off to college. Howard was with us for a little while until he dropped out of the scene as well. This was Retirement Ain't Easy music journal video. Hope you liked it. If you like, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Visit my music channel. I have some songs over there that I've released, and I'll probably post this video over there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.